Today, I want to talk to you about a word that slips off of our tongues, past our ears, and most people don't really pay attention to it at all. That word is happiness. The reality is, your only mission as a human being is to be happy. That's it, period. To live in happiness is the only thing we should really aim for. So what is happiness? Happiness is an emotional state that's experienced when the ideal of what life should be for you mirrors your environment. We call this the ideal scene. Think of it like a scene in a movie. Have you ever watched a movie and said, "That will be me someday"? The ideal scene is the perfect picture of one's own life. This is something that varies greatly from one individual to the next. Therefore, there is no such thing as a standard for happiness. For some, the ideal scene of what life should be consists of acquiring extreme wealth, achieving a high social status, and earning the admiration of others. For others, it can be as simple as enjoying a hobby, like playing music or riding a motorcycle. Some people cannot be happy unless they're being of service to others. This justifies why certain individuals spend their lives in less fortunate countries improving the condition of other human beings. And others find happiness just by providing a secure environment for their children to grow, and it's by witnessing their development alone that gives them a tremendous sense of satisfaction. Whatever that is, when you're experiencing the ideal of what life should be for you, you will be happy. And as a result, if you experience happiness, you have won in life. If you think about it, it's because of this very concept that we should not judge others, which is unfortunately a common practice in society today. For example, you see a wealthy individual, and just because he or she has money, you may tend to feel like that person has no right to be unhappy or complain about anything. What we don't stop to think about is, just because someone has money doesn't make them automatically happy. I know what you're thinking, but the reality is, we don't know if this person is facing personal or emotional challenges that simply don't agree with their ideal scene of what life should be. For example, this wealthy individual might have a business partner that stole hundreds of millions of dollars from him, and he feels he should have billions, not millions. Or maybe this person has a relative with special needs and is having a hard time finding a way to deliver the care they need. Regardless what they have, they're not experiencing what they would like as far as their ideal scene in this world. At the same time, someone that's living what apparently seems a simple life and might be looked down upon might be extremely happy as they're experiencing the ideal scene of what life should be for them. So finding happiness is not about raising or lowering standards. It's about truly listening to what you really want, and once you identify it, dedicating every ounce of your being to accomplish that goal, that state of being, creating the ideal scene. I want you to understand that it's only that by pursuing your concept of happiness, your ideal scene, that you will find meaning, and meaning will give you purpose. Purpose is the single thing that fuels your soul and will give you the health and the endurance to not quit and overcome every single obstacle in your path. Living with purpose and meaning will provide a sense of happiness until you achieve your ideal scene. This explains why people that settle in jobs they don't like, next to people they don't really love, regardless if they think they're doing the right thing per society's standards, will be extremely and eternally unhappy. So what's the solution? Change the meaning you're giving to your struggle, and as a result, your concept of what happiness is will change. For example, going back to the instance of the wealthy individual with a business partner who stole hundreds of millions of dollars from him. I'm certain he didn't have this as part of his ideal scene of what life should be. But the situation is what it is. And even though, again, this was not his ideal scene, the individual still possessed the ultimate freedom to choose what his ideal scene of life is at any moment. One person in this scenario can be eternally unhappy and bitter regardless of what other blessings he might have, while another can choose to see this differently, being grateful that they achieved wealth in the first place. And as a result, they improve the condition of numerous people, bringing them a greater sense of satisfaction, meaning, and purpose. And this very thing, our capacity to choose what we attach meaning to, regardless of our environment, can help us experience meaning and purpose, which is the root of being happy. That is our choice, our ultimate freedom, anytime, anywhere, regardless what stage of life we're at. Another example of this is the old man that outlived his wife. the love of his life. This man's happiness was taking care of and being next to his wife. And when she died, he fell into a terrible depression that lasted years, and he wasn't able to overcome it. But when asked the question, what would have happened if it was the other way around, and you had died first, and as a result, your wife was now living without you, the man realized that of the two scenarios, he would have preferred this one. As per him, his wife would have suffered tremendously as a result of his death and wouldn't be able to cope. So after facing that scenario, the man found tremendous relief, and as a result, he found meaning in his suffering, as by him surviving, he prevented his wife's suffering. So you see, it's our choice. It's always our choice to choose what the ideal scene of our lives is, regardless of the situation. And as a result, you have the power to choose happiness every time. The secret to happiness resides in us and choosing what we focus on and what we give meaning to. If you don't like what you're experiencing, change it. Do something about it. Change your environment, or if that is not possible, change the meaning that you're choosing to give to your situation. The pursuit of happiness is the ultimate freedom we have as human beings. It's our right and should be a key factor in all of our endeavors. Suffering is a choice. Being happy is a choice. You get to choose. So every time when you wake up in the morning and every time you lay your head on the pillow at night, choose to be happy. All the power is right there in your hands to create your ideal scene. I want you to live in that ideal scene and to create a life filled with passion and determination.